Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining me this morning for another edition of a systematic course in the ancient tantric techniques of yoga and kriya by Swami Satyananda Saraswati. Today's really easy. I'm going to show you some simple meditative asanas, the ways to sit in meditation, because again, this whole time we've been practicing pre-meditation asanas to loosen up the joints so that we can sit in meditation. Because the whole point of yoga is to prepare the body for meditation so that we can integrate everything. So today there's two asanas or meditation asanas that I'll show you. They're not the best ones to use. The best asanas to use to sit in meditation are things like lotus pose, which looks a little bit like this. Because this pose puts a lot, it kind of creates a larger base, so all the weight of your body isn't just on one point. It's kind of spread across the legs and the buttocks. But we're not there yet, right? We're going to work up to this. And so in order to do that, you do your pre-meditation exercises, and until you're in this position, we work on some other forms of pre-meditation asanas. So the first one is called siddhasana, which translates to easy pose, and it's very common. We learned it probably in elementary school, and back then, in my day, it was called Indian style, which of course is no longer politically correct. But basically, you just take one foot and you place it under the thigh, and then the other foot you place, oh my god, I haven't sat like this in so long, you place under the thigh. Yeah, okay. So then what happens in this pose is the weight is actually kind of on the ankles and on a small point of the bottom. So it's not the best pose to sit in. It can get uncomfortable. It also kind of creates a slouching movement. But it's a beginner pose. It's where we start. And one way to kind of fix the issues with it is to sit on a pillow or a block. I have a block here, so I'll just show you what that looks like. Here's a blue one. It's thin, it's not big like these massive blocks that I have for other reasons. But you could sit on it like that, and then it makes your spine straighter. You could put a pillow instead, whatever works. There's this asana, really easy. One way to sit in meditation, and then you rest your hands on your knees, right? Now the other asana, which I prefer over this one, is called Vajrasana. It also means thunderbolt pose. And basically for this pose, you sit like this. So the first thing that you might notice, you might ask, is where are your heels? And so I'm going to just open my book here. One of the things that you can do is come forward, place your heels right there together, toes touching typically. And the knees can be apart a little bit or they can be together. And then you just gradually sit down on your heels. Now, it often does get uncomfortable. So one thing you can do is to place your weight on your hands and just keep setting and setting until you find a place for those heels on your buttocks that isn't too uncomfortable. I personally, it kind of varies. Sometimes I sit right on the heels together, right in my bum. Sometimes I take the heels out to the side, so it really opens up the ankles. Now, in my blog, I'll post all the details and techniques of how to get into this asana, but I think it's pretty common sense. Again, you might find it difficult to sit on your feet with all the support of the arms, and that's okay. It's a good method for loosening up the legs anyways, and one way to help you again is to support your body weight with your arms and then slowly lower your buttocks down to the feet. And just keep doing this over and over. But eventually you'll be able to sit there. And beginners who find that their legs and feet ache after a short time in this position should return to the kneeling position and then sit on the floor with the legs outstretched like this. Bend one leg, hold the ankle, shake it vigorously if it aches. Do the other, shake it vigorously with the other leg, and then come back into Vajrasana like this and sit. Your hands rest here, usually. Now what, again, I like about this pose is it automatically rolls your shoulders back. So there we go. I wanted to quickly share with you the benefits of Vajrasana because there are some. So I'm going to grab this massive textbook of ours and I'll read this to you. It's not long. Vajrasana is one of the few asanas which can be performed after taking meals, as asanas in general are strictly contraindicated after food. We actually recommend that Vajrasana be practiced for 5 or 10 minutes after meals. The reason is simple. Vajrasana is a very relaxing position. conducive to a calm mind and body, and it stimulates the digestive processes working in the stomach. It's the only practical meditative asana for people who suffer from sciatica or sacral infections. So if you have sciatica, you probably realize that sitting like this is super uncomfortable, but Vajrasana is actually recommended. So practice Vajrasana. It requires practice because your ankles do need to limber up, which is why we do the pre-meditation exercises. So those are your 2 asanas to consider using whenever we are moving forward with our pranayama practice and our meditation practice. All right, let me know how it goes. Talk soon.